Hi, I'm Diane Southard, your DNA guide, and today I want to talk to you about genetic relationships versus genealogy relationships. So, if that sounds like a topic you'd be interested in, let's dive in together. So, your genetic relationships are measured in something we call a centimorgan, and multiple centimorgans make up a segment, which are essentially just the pieces of DNA we share with other individuals. Your genealogy relationship, on the other hand, is usually represented like this: it's a second cousin once removed, or a third cousin, or a fourth cousin twice removed. And if you're still confused about removed relationships, you can look for our YouTube video about those as well. But what I want you to focus on today is that we often think of the number of centimorgans we share with someone as equaling a relationship. So you might say that your second cousin once removed shares 123 centimorgans with you. And that might be true. And you can see that a second cousin is going to share more DNA with you, maybe 233 centimorgans, where a first cousin is going to share even more, 874 centimorgans. So you get the picture, right? The problem is that for each of these kinds of relationships, there are multiple ways you can share DNA. So we could maybe share more or less DNA with people with the same relationship. So it can be a little confusing because there isn't a one-to-one ratio or one-to-one relationship between these genetic relationships and these genealogy relationships. In fact, one genetic relationship, so say 70 centimorgans is your genetic relationship, it can equal lots of different genealogy relationships. So at 70 centimorgans, you might be third cousins. You could be second cousins once removed. There are all kinds of relationships that could share that amount of shared DNA. Similarly, one genealogy relationship, like second cousin, can equal several genetic relationships. So at second cousins, you could share 250 centimorgans. You could share 213 centimorgans. You could share 298 centimorgans. And I could just keep going and going and going. So, if you want to know what your relationship is to all of the people on your DNA match list, what are you going to do? How are you going to figure it out? Now, our testing companies do a really excellent job of trying to help us navigate this. Often they're going to suggest a relationship to you that's possible based on that amount of shared DNA. And in fact, two of our testing companies, Ancestry DNA and MyHeritage DNA, have special tools to help you see all of the possible relationships you might have with someone. And these tools are really, really helpful. But sometimes it helps to understand kind of the underlying science behind these tools. And in order to do that, we can go to the Shared Centimorgan project. Now, this project is run on the DNA Painter website and it's free to anyone. So if you want to go check it out, I really encourage you. It's a really powerful tool for us as genealogists to figure out that relationship between the genetic information, that total amount of shared DNA, and the relationships that you might have. So I prefer to use the beta version. You can see I'm clicking on it over here on the left, but honestly, both are probably fine for most of you most of the time. Then you're going to take that total amount of shared DNA that you share with your DNA match. This time it's 54 centimorgans, and you're going to put it into that top box. And when you do, the tool is going to give you two ways to view your results. You can see it here in a table form and then in more of a graphical form. So let's look at this table. So basically, this table is saying at 54 centimorgans, all of these listed relationships are possible, even the one all the way down at 9%. So again, you see this idea that one genetic relationship, 54 centimorgans, can equal several genealogy relationships. Now, the same information is displayed on this table. So the relationships that you can't have based on that shared amount of DNA are grayed out, but all of the possible relationships are there in full color. Now, let's take a look at each of these squares. So we're getting two different kinds of information here about these relationships. It's telling us that on average, according to the data that they have here at DNA Painter, a second cousin shares 229 centimorgans. So the more you get to know these kinds of averages, the easier it's going to be for you to understand how this centimorgan count translates to a relationship. So again, second cousins sharing about 229 centimorgans. But under that, you'll see that the data that was reported from people who are actual second cousins to each other, they had a shared amount of DNA between 41 and 592 centimorgans. So this means that individuals who are actually second cousins to each other are sharing as little as 41 centimorgans or as much as 592 centimorgans. Now, if you want to dive deeper and you're feeling a little sciencey, you can click on any one of these relationships and pull up this image. This is called a histogram. And really what it's trying to help you see is how often individuals who are second cousins share these corresponding amounts of DNA. So this table is a little bit interactive. So if you want to click around and investigate a little bit more how it works, it can be really interesting. But the point is that for one genetic relationship, there are multiple genealogy relationships that will fit. So when you're talking about genetic and genealogy relationships, you have to remember that there's always going to be more than one. So to truly figure out how you're related to your DNA matches, in addition to the DNA, you're going to have to do genealogy. So I hope you'll let me help you take your next DNA step, and all the information you need is right below this video. And until next time, keep doing the DNA. I'm Diahan Southard, your DNA guide.